Welcome back to Farm and Hammer, everyone. Today we've got a number of things to get done. We've got to move pretty much every group of cows we've got because it is winter, as you guys know, and the grass has pretty much stopped growing. We're trying to move them around every pasture we have with some grass in it just to get them to clean up what we've got before we have to start feeding hay. I'm assuming we should have enough grass to get us to Christmas, but I'll get into all that later. First move of the morning. This group is making their way. A few of them, I gave them some new minerals, so a few are a little bit distracted, but this is one of our spring groups, spring calving groups, so they'll be having calves here in about 3 to 4 months. And I'd say we've got enough pasture for them until maybe the end of December, hopefully. As you can see, this field doesn't have just a ton of grass, but it does have a little bit of fescue, so they'll probably be in this little field for 4 to 5 days, and then pick them out in a new one. I wouldn't say it's a stockpiled fescue, but it has had over a month to grow, so there is a decent amount of forage they can clean up before we start feeding hay. Anyway guys, that's the first group. Next we got to move the big group of cows, and then last we're going to move the group of heifers. Well, half of them are already making it out ahead of me. The gate is open and they are ready to move. Take a little walk around here. Here's one of my half Holstein cows. And another reason we're getting them all in tomorrow is I need to get all these girls preg checked to make sure they are pregnant and that they are going to calve here in 3 or 4 months. There's no sense in feeding them hay all winter if they aren't going to produce a calf. So we're going to get them pregged, as well as the nurse cow here. Even if she's not bred, we probably will keep her just until she gets bred, because she does raise multiple calves for us. We can't expect her to get bred on time every single time. So she'll be staying around for a while. She's not as friendly as she used to be. Still got some cows walking through. Anyway, and then we got all these calves like this one here that need to be banded. Because we don't need a bunch of bulls running around. This is another one of those pastures where there's not a whole lot of grass, but they've got 6 to 8 inches worth to graze. There's a little bit of clover left. Hopefully they can eat it before the frost really kills it, but not a whole lot of grass. But this field is mostly a Bermuda field, so the fescue isn't super thick, but it'll keep them occupied for a day or so. Well guys, just moved the cows in here, did a little drive around the field, and found an old dead tree has fallen on the fence. So we got the chainsaw out here, we're gonna cut it off and hopefully get this fence repaired so the cows don't get out. Looks like there are a couple wires broken, but we'll see how bad the damage is after we get the tree off. Here it is. Thought it was more dead than this. I thought it was going to be all punky, but still a little solid, so we'll see if we can get the chainsaw through this. So guys, the last thing on the list to cover today, I need to tell you guys about the dead pig, what happened, and I guess what we learned from the whole situation. So, coming over to the pigs. It is getting dark, so it may be hard to see with the camera, but you can see a pile of food behind me. I'll discuss that in a later video. You may be able to tell there is 7 pigs in here, not 8. So what I did on the first group of pigs I ever raised and this one, when they're little, I always filled up a 6-gallon bucket of water. I left it in their pen, and then whenever I'd come to feed them, I'd dump them some more water, and until they got big enough, we moved them outside. Well, I did the same thing with these. I didn't think this would ever be an issue, but it turns out it wasn't the best idea. So I came out here the other day, and I noticed as soon as I got to the door, there was a pig sitting upside down in this bucket. He was face down in the water. Obviously he had drowned, and how he got in there I don't know. These aren't short little 5-gallon buckets or even 3 or 4-gallon buckets. These are 6-gallon, and they're tall and skinny. So how he got up in there, I'm not exactly sure, but what I'm guessing is, since these guys like to push each other around, they like to stick their nose under each other and flip each other over, things like that. I'm guessing he got his front feet up on the bucket, and then one of them came behind him and either flipped his back feet in or something, because he would not be able to jump in there by himself. There's no way he could get in there by himself. So I'm guessing one of the other ones, when he had his feet up there, either flipped him in there or something. Besides that, I really don't think there's any other explanation, because like I said, it's too tall for him to jump into. It's not a short 5-gallon bucket. So not really sure, but that's what I'm guessing happened, and it was unfortunate. I'm guessing he'd only been dead an hour when I'd gotten there, and I'm out here 2 or 3 times a day. So anyway, so I came out here, he was dead, and took him out, and now I no longer leave a water bucket in there. I don't leave a feed bucket, don't leave a water bucket. So I got all my feed and water buckets sitting out here right now. And you may see some white stuff in there, and that's actually shreds of cardboard you're probably seeing. So just added that to their litter. I got this big pile of wood chips I'm scooping up and throwing in there, covering up all their wasted food and manure, and that cardboard, the shredded up cardboard, will break down right with it. So anyway guys, I'm down to 7 pigs. That means I need to find at least 1 more. I may end up getting 3 more just so I can keep the females and still have 8 to butcher. So I'm on the lookout for pigs. I'm hoping to find some next week, and maybe get 1 or 3 possibly. So if I can find some feeder pigs for a decent price, I'll probably have 10 total if I can. So that's the story on the pig. Now to end on sort of a happy note, I've got some chocolate milk, some free chocolate milk, and we're gonna pour it in a bucket and give them a little treat for the evening. 1 thing of chocolate milk. And for those of you wondering, yes, chocolate milk is toxic to dogs. Cats shouldn't eat it either. But pigs, they're perfectly fine eating it. They have a similar digestive system to us. So unless you gave them a lot of pounds of chocolate, they're going to be just fine. And one downside of getting free feed, like chocolate milk, I do have a lot of plastic. All of the plastic jugs and things will be recycled, but there's stuff like this that can't really be recycled and just has to go to the landfill anyway. One last thing, we've got some eggs here. Just to add a little bit of that into the chocolate milk. They've already been fed for the evening, but this is just a little treat for them. I had some comments in the last pig video about feeding vegetables. No, that is not their main diet. That is not the only feed they're getting. They're getting corn and grains, which are also free as well. But I do give them vegetables, and that probably makes up about 20% of their diet. Anyway, let's get this a little mixed up and fed to the pigs. Anyway, they're enjoying it. That bowl's almost empty. This one's still got some food, but I poured some on top. Then we've got their feeder here with some of their supper they didn't finish. There's going to town on that now. So alright guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. I'll have some more updates on the pigs. As they're getting big enough, it's time for them to start going outside. So I'll have some more updates on the pigs. Of course, we'll have more updates on the cows as well. As soon as I get my cows preg checked, and when we have some selling to do. So anyway guys, that being said, thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.